Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the Whitewater Unified School District's fiber lighting ceremony. We appreciate everyone's attendance this afternoon, and we want to extend some special welcomes. Welcome to our representatives of the school board here today, officials from the city, the university, community supporters, teachers and staff who are here supporting this project, representatives from WISNET, WIN, and a special thank you for our state representatives, Steve Nass and Andy Jorgensen, for being here and helping us celebrate this great event. We're really pleased to have this opportunity to acknowledge the work that's happened over the last 2 years and to recognize the significant improvement that we have made in our district's connectivity infrastructure. Charlie can talk about all the details. All I can tell you is that when I go onto the internet, it is a lot faster. That's kind of my layman's way of saying that we've really improved our infrastructure. But we're really excited about the possibilities that it's going to create for our educational programming, what it's going to mean for increased efficiency with the use of technology for our students. But even beyond that, we're really excited as a school district about the impact of this first step. And you'll hear probably a number of us kind of refer to this first step in what we are really hoping will be something that's going to benefit the entire community. Nearly 2 years ago, I remember Charlie Barr saying, Jim Young from WISNET wants to get together and kind of talk about this idea about some community loop or ring. And Nate and I were talking about it earlier today, and we remember going to that meeting and seeing this image of this connectivity loop that would really create a nice infrastructure for our community. And both of us kind of walked away thinking, ooh, how's that going to happen? And surprisingly, it really coincided with our efforts here at the district to increase our access to the internet and to promote our use of technology. We hit a number of speed bumps and challenges along the way, but again, fortunately, through perseverance by a number of individuals, we were able to connect this portion of what we, again, hope to be a community network later on. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge some special partners and really say thank you to them. First, the District Technology Committee, which is comprised of parents, students, teachers, and administration, for their support and vision in just how we look at technology and its use in the district. Again, special thank you to Jim Young from WISNET for coming up with this idea and showing us this map. He also made sure that WIN was actively involved in this and kind of kept bringing him back to say, hey, you really should listen to this. And that was key to the success of this entire initiative. And of course, our access to WISNET. Can't say thank you enough. It provides us affordable access for the school district and just outstanding service. I want to say thank you to WINS, which stands for Wisconsin Independent Network, and Lauren Lampier.
He's not here.
He's not here. For including us in this running of fiber to URock in Janesville. Again, the stars kind of aligned. WIN had this design that they needed to connect all the way down to URock in Janesville. We had some conduit already that really fit the direction they wanted to go. We just needed their assistance with fiber and some additional conduit. And so things just kind of clicked, and they included us in their kind of roadway to URock. So thank you to them. Thank you to Cameron Clapper and Tim Nobling from the city. They have been unbelievably supportive in this leg of it. The two of them are extremely innovative. They have a vision for what they want for the city and how they see this possibly supporting strong economic development in our community. So thank you to them, and a special thank you to Cameron for just his tremendous leadership. Thank you to our school board. Even though WIN provided us discounted rates and significant reduction in cost, it did still come at a cost, and we still did have to find a significant amount of dollars to support this part of this connectivity project. And our school board values the educational opportunities for our students, values, access for our staff, and they made the commitment to support this project as well. So thank you to our school board. And they also recognize the potential not only for the district and how the district will benefit, but also they saw the potential for the community as well, the city of Whitewater. Special thank you to, we have many community partners who were very supportive of this, but it's really important to recognize Jim Caldwell. Jim was instrumental in kind of bringing everybody back to the table and also making a point. I think he really drove home the point of how there is some real potential in the private sector, in the business sector here in our community. And it's a business, you know, and I understand that all those players have a vested interest in making sure that their companies make their profit margins. And I think with Jim's help and support and kind of clarifying that, I think Wynn saw the potential there as well. So special thank you to Jim Caldwell. He's always been a terrific advocate and supporter of the school district, but in this particular initiative, he was extremely instrumental. So thank you, Jim. Special thank you to Dr. and Mrs. Telfer from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Even though the university isn't officially a partner in this, they have tremendously added to the conversation. Good timing. Chancellor Telfer has been at the table serving as a community member, saying you really need to see the big picture of this and how this really can benefit the community. He also added to supporting the school district's perspective of look at the educational value as we increase our connectivity and building this infrastructure. So special thank you to the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater and Chancellor Telfer for his support. This was a substantial project. It's really enhanced our learning environment. It's really enhanced our efficiency and use of technology. So we're really excited about all of what the future holds for us as we continue to find out better ways to use our technology and enhance those experiences for our kids. But I want to be really clear. I think from an administrative standpoint, from a school board standpoint, from the district standpoint, and I know our partners in the city and with the university and in the community, we're really, really optimistic and hopeful that we're not only celebrating the district's benefit here, but that this is hopefully the first step in what will make Whitewater a place to bring business to, a place to draw families, and again, a great place to work and live. So we're really pleased with this, and again, thank you for being here to help us celebrate this lighting of the fiber. And I think when I talk about that hope, I'd like to, I know Charlie's just chomping at the bit too. He'd like to share what we're hoping to see in the future. So I'm going to turn it over to Charlie Barr to share what we're anticipating will happen in the future.
I'm really happy you said all that. I'm done. I want to talk a little bit more about not just the project, but how it helped the school and things like that. And the city, Cameron, you can jump in whenever you want, but if we look at the whole idea of the connectivity, how it's going to help us with the program, and with what's going on, the online research, the books, the other things, as we're heading more to a one-to-one comparison. The one thing that a lot of people don't realize is we have 2,000 kids, we have 1,900 appliances in this district. That's not bad. We're not one-to-one yet. This is for stuff that we currently have and the kids are doing it. And connectivity of what was offered through Badgernet and stuff like that was relatively small. And we were constantly busting it and not being able to do what we needed to do. Since this fiber's gone live and we got all the little issues taken care of, it's much better. And the whole idea of downloading something, I don't even think about it anymore at what time of day I'm doing it. Where I used to sneak in at night and remotely and do it. But all of that, but also with the state and local testing, all those things are going to require bandwidth now. And we need this type of connectivity. And if it wasn't for corporations and businesses and others here, we couldn't do it. WISNet is definitely part of what we have. And fortunately, Wynn has the ability to connect to WISNet, to AT&T, to Charter, and all of the businesses. So as we move forward, as a school district and a city, we cannot connect these businesses through our internet. That's just against the rules, and I understand that. But because we are working with WIN, they will be able to help those businesses get to their provider and not have to sit there and we have to come up with new fiber and make sure we're here, there, or the other place. But for the school district alone, these three, the elementary, middle school, and high school in this area have really benefited from it. And you'll see as I go through the presentation, we are thinking of the other schools, Washington teachers, and we are planning to head that direction with all of that. But if we look at the whole idea of the city, and this is just my thoughts of this, is that first of all, they're going to have better connectivity between the buildings. It's going to reduce their phone bill if you think of it that way, because they don't have to have separate phones. They can do a voice over IP much simpler and not have to have local calls even between buildings and things like that. For the police, the research, where they have to connect to out to the state and federal government, it'll be much quicker for them, much better for them once they move on and are connected with this higher speed. You know, and of course fire and rescue, but also the potential, as I show you this, is the ability that they could improve their wireless access for the police that are on the road and the emergency. That as we start getting this fiber out, we now have a way for them to get wireless throughout the city to help their police officers and the emergency response have another way of connectivity and talking about it. You know, and there's other benefits, and this is where we're really hoping, and this is a partnership between, you know, a lot of people look at, you have the city and the school, the two different departments, but we're actually working together on a project that we benefit, and what benefits in the long run, to me, is the most important thing, is our kids, you know, and so I get choked up over that. But the big thing is, we can have a more fast, dependable network for businesses. These businesses that we're going to, as I show you the maps, we're getting closer to, we will be able to give them connectivity that AT&T, Charter, and others won't have to worry about. Now they can afford more bandwidth to make their businesses better. You know, hopefully with that we're going to attract new businesses. And this is where the school district comes back into mind, because if the new businesses, hopefully it's going to attract new families. I love all you single people that work for us. But we need the families and the kids too, and things like that. It helps us connect through the university in a different way through the Innovation Center and things like that as we go through there. But those type of projects will be able to be actually worked. And most of all, we recognize Whitewater as a city, as a school district. That if we accomplish this, I believe we will be the first one in a city this size that will have done this. And what a great thing for us to have. Okay? So this is the hope for the community. This is our hope as a committee that, and as Eric has said, we have support from the school board, from the city, from the university being able to do this. But if we look at this, this is what we currently have in place. This is what the school district and the city have. There's a lot more fiber in this town that we don't own, but we are part of. But we have this in place today. That we're starting at the Whitewater High School, and we get all the way over to the wind connection to Wisnet, over on Staring. That's our little piece of the pie so far. That this black line here goes over to what I just called the Innovation Center. The city and the university have fiber that goes over to that. And so we're starting to get the hopefully the first of a couple rings going on in this town. The city currently is working on this going down Main Street and getting down to Fremont Street. That was part of the agreement with WIN. And hopefully they're going to get to City Hall, and then they'll have a much better speed and connectivity out to the internet and businesses out there. And so that's where we currently are, which isn't too bad. The next step, and I have my ideas in my head, that is for us to get over to Washington Elementary, which is a very important thing for us. But also as we draw this, and this is not in concrete, this is not in stone, it could change the actual direction, but as we go down from Fremont Street, we are going to get to Washington. It looks like we're kind of sneaking up on it, but this is a joint venture with the city and the school district. And because of that, we believe that we're going to end up going underneath the railroad tracks twice, But down here, there are two very important businesses that I think might benefit from it, Accurite and Coburn. And so the hope is that by getting it close to them, and as the state comes through on Old Highway 12 and redoes that, we can get them connectivity. We have it available now, and that will go on. And then from there, of course, to finish the loop, the nice little pink line gets us to the Innovation Center. And this is where the city and the rest of us have to help to be able to get fiber out to the businesses that are currently here. How do we get it back to there so that they can get out to the internet? But if you look now, we have a nice ring here. And the point of the ring is that if it gets cut, let's say down on Fremont Street, then all these people can sit there and go, oh, we'll go the other way to get to where we need to go. And that's the point of the ring. And so, as Eric has said, this is only phase one. We're celebrating this because it's taken us a long time to get here. He talked 2 years. I remember the first meeting with Jim Young in the university in the spring of 2007. It's a little more than 2 years for me. So it's probably why you get excited. And then, of course, we can't forget about this side of town. And so, again, the black line is what's currently in place. But we also need to worry about the businesses that are out here on Main Street, and heading out that way and getting some type of connectivity out to there for the health center and for whatever else is going out that way. So that as the city, if it puts businesses out there, we have a way of getting that. And as a partnership with the city and others, that we hope to move that forward. That the good news is we already have the city already has conduit going up at least to Elizabeth Street. And so then it's be a matter of going the rest of the way. But that's the dream, if you will, of where we're going. This is only phase one, and I'm excited about phase one. I hope to be just as excited in a couple of years as we're saying we're done with phase 4 and phase 5. And, you know, if the monies was there, you know, we do it quicker, but we have to do this. But along this, we're going to end up having to get businesses to do that. Okay? And so that's where we're going, for some of you that don't know. Okay?
Thanks, Charlie. I'd also like to invite Cameron Clapper up to share a few words about this partnership. As I said, Cameron has been a tremendous leader in this whole process. He actually kind of came in halfway through as we were going and had to get caught up to speed very quickly. But I've certainly appreciated Cameron's partnership in this whole venture, and as we look to better our entire community. So, Cameron?
Sure. Thank you, Eric. And thank you all for being here. Just to go along with what Eric's talked about, this is a huge step forward. We are on a path to be fully built out with fiber cabling in the next few years, if we can help it, and have that entire loop that Charlie had in that really excellent map up there, that entire loop built out. Right now we've got conduit laid, and we're going to be hoping to have fiber available in that conduit very soon. To give you an idea of how big this is for us, Charlie mentioned the savings, and I know I just think about my own children that are in this school district and the things that they'll be able to access, or the technology and resources they'll be able to receive because of this fiber that's set up, and the speed and the capability of that fiber. In the city, it's very similar. We'll be able to have our police officers responding to calls for where occasionally we have, you might be surprised, in the university community, domestic situations that require police to arrive and be involved. When they are called to go into a home or into a residence, and they have to respond to that call, they'll be able to look on their laptop in their unit and have real-time information about the status of what's going on inside. Right now, they get that, but it takes a little bit longer, and it comes through our dispatch center. They won't need that communication from the dispatch center. They'll have it all right there in front of them in their vehicle. So there's the ability to be more prepared, and the more we take advantage of that with data and information, the better our public safety services will be. The other thing I wanted to just talk about, to give you an idea, I think most of you are familiar with it, but just to give you an idea, the reliability and capability that this fiber has compared to what most of us are used to with DSL, for example. If you've ever watched CNN and you've got the broadcast, the anchor, they're talking to someone else in a different community, and they show the little boxes with their faces, and someone will ask a question, and then there's a bit of a delay before there's a response. That delay is what comes from electric disturbance and from traveling through copper wire systems. So by eliminating that and having fiber instead of that, if you were watching, to keep on with that example, you're going to have a real-time response, as if people are in the same room, because there's nothing to inhibit the light traveling through that fiber optic cabling. And that's probably the most important part about this whole thing, is the security and reliability of the network. So being able to work together and share resources, the city and the school district and the university, and also just the economy of scale, trimming down and saving costs because we're better connected, is going to be a great thing for the city and for the school district. And he gave a wonderful, very kind introduction earlier, but I want to return the favor. I really think this has been a great effort on the part of Charlie, as well as Eric and the school board, and Nate, wherever Nate was, I saw your face, there you are, to bring this forward. I came in at a time when there was a bit of a lull. My predecessor, who also was involved and did an excellent job, had departed, and I was new, and Eric picked up the ball. And so we're here today because he mentioned Jim Caldwell and others, and Eric Runez as the superintendent. We're here today because of his efforts and the efforts of the school district to pick up that ball, and I congratulate him for it and thank him for it. And I too am excited for the next step. So, thank you.
So we shared all of the information. The next thing that we'll do is we'll head outside and we'll officially connect and light up the fiber. We'll take some pictures. But before we do that, again, want to thank everybody for being here. Really appreciate the support. We hope that all of you share the word and are as excited as we are about what we're celebrating today and this increased connectivity for our students and for our staff. But even more so, we hope that you get excited about what we're envisioning down the road for our community. And if you are, tell somebody else, because I think that's how we're going to get this accomplished. The more the community gets excited about it, the more likely it's going to happen, and the sooner it'll happen. So keep working on those partnerships. So again, thank you for being here. We will head out for the connection of the fiber. Thanks.